5 minutes with Sean, maybe 10. As always, I appreciate you kicking your week off with me, or whenever it is that you check out our little thing here. So, today is interesting because something I've been chatting with people about in kind of different spaces and ways. And it's this idea of keeping up with the Joneses, but that's kind of what comes to my head when I think about it. But it's this idea that there's always going to be someone who has something more than you, bigger than you, better than you, however you view all of those topics. Someone will always, inevitably, unless you're one of those 5 people who constantly jump back over each other anyways, there's always going to be someone with more. And so what I always hear people talk about, well, that one dealership, that top dealership. Well, it's probably a top dealership for a reason, but if all you do is talk about it or try to copy it, then I'm not sure you're really getting the point. Because what that one dealership or the 1% has figured out is how to be individual to them and figure out what makes them more attractive to the consumer than anything else. And that reason could vary from size of inventory, size of business, whatever it is. It could be any of that. But there's always going to be someone with more. So I was recently having a discussion with my buddy Chad Graves, and we were talking about this concept that if everyone could be the 1%, then it wouldn't be the 1% anymore. And I know that there's, this whatever comes with the 1%, the wealth. I'm really talking more about the upper echelon of people in business, the upper echelon of people in sports. Yeah, you can tie the finances to it. 1% of parenting, 1% of relationship people. Like everywhere you look, there are people who do something really well. There are people who do it kind of well. And then average, and then below average, and sometimes below that. Failing even, right? But there's this obsession, whether it's via social media or just, I feel like in social settings in general, the need to sort of come up over the top or figure out how they can be that person. Or did you see, like, I have people ask me all the time, like, Sean, did you know someone started a company just like yours? Yeah. Okay, great. Send me a link. Everyone gets excited. It's like, what now? Well, are you going to mystery shop and find out what they're all about? See what they sell? No, I don't. Who cares? There's enough dealerships to go around for anybody who has an idea right now. If you can help dealerships, go out and do it. So no, I encourage that. What if they copied everything verbatim? Well, that sounds flattering because again, what does it really matter to me if someone copies the business? The business is about doing the right thing, and it's about trying to make sure that we stay ahead of the curve. And if everyone can join me there, and somehow, again, I believe myself as a 1%er to the car business, someone trying to do everything that I can to make it better. Yeah, I do believe that I'm in an upper echelon of people trying to do that. Yes, I believe that. Does that make me somehow, I don't know, after last week's show, does that make me cocky? Does that make me arrogant? Does that make me an asshole? I don't know. I guess that's up to the court of public opinion, how people feel about that. But I also know that I'm interested in sports and I like sport. And if I wasn't doing this, I'd probably be in sports management. So I look at people and I think, oh my God, how do they do that? How do they become a lawyer? How do they become an agent, GM? The point of it is that you look at it, you want to do it, but honestly, I'm in my industry. So I can't go worrying about what other people are doing. Even buddies of mine who may go off and do something bigger and badder than me, or have a bigger house, a bigger job, whatever it is, that good for them, right? That's their race that they're racing, and I'm racing my race, and it's why horse have blinders on them, right? Is so that you don't worry about any of that stuff sort of coming and flying by you in the purview. But there's also a reality to all of this, that sometimes people are just better at shit than other people. So like Michael Jordan, he's like the 1% of a basketball player because he's Michael Jordan. And he did that. And there shouldn't be anything kind of negative attached to that. Just because he is the 1%, it doesn't mean that he's all of a sudden a bad person or doesn't have this or that. He's just really, really great at what he does. But if everyone tries to emulate Michael Jordan and copy him everywhere they go and do everything that he does, the chances they end up like Michael Jordan are really slim, because otherwise that shit would have already happened by now. So I just want people to take time. I remember being in dealerships, running stores, and people getting all frantic because, I don't know, somebody outsold us in a week, a month, a quarter, whatever it was. Geez, we got to get to the bottom of it. Let's go mystery shop. Why? Who cares? Well, they're probably doing lower prices than us. Are we going to lower our prices? No. Then who cares? Well, what if they're doing this or that? Or what if they have these people or those people? Okay. Do we? We don't. It's still going to be about us and how we operate. I have chased the Joneses financially for a good portion of my life. And all it does is run you into the ground, while others may have what they have because they had to do very little for it, or they had to do a ton for it. But either way, trying to make myself that, and this was before social media, this has had to do with people I came in contact with in the car business and watching them or do whatever. When they come in and buy a GTR, you think, what the fuck does that guy do? And then you start to want to and be that and look at that, and then you start talking with people who you believe can get you there. And what it does is it clouds what you're really trying to accomplish. I remember having so many different conversations about people who wanted to hire me over the years, selling cars. Like, ungodly, as the producer says, so many people, right? Offering you jobs, offering you lifelines, offering you all these things. And I'm someone who's always been someone who would say, I'll look into it. I'll look into it. And we vetted these things out pretty damn far. And every time you got to the same point where you're like, oh, this is bullshit. Like, this is all bullshit. This is all bullshit. Whether they were pyramid schemes or oversold as an idea, whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is they were bullshit once you got there. And what was always true about it was that the car business is where I belonged. I had a chance to get into sports management at kind of a crossroads in my life, like really early on after high school, and I chose the immediacy of money because I was blown out by the idea that I recently posted about going to community college and realizing that it just in 30 seconds wasn't for me. Walked from one end to the other, got in my demo, and went back to selling cars. In that same crux of time, it was like, you could go do this. In sports management, you could be this guy. And it was like, yeah, you want, right, pay for that? Like college? Yeah. No. Boom. Take the other road, car business, be in it. Be happy. Somewhat. For the most part. So all I'm asking people to do is just stop trying to be other people, because probably what you see on social media, as we were talking with the wonderful Ev Kelly a couple weeks ago, is probably not the entire story of what life really looks like. So keep in mind the whole adage of everyone puts their pants on one leg at a time. We all have our own shit, but we all have what makes us happy. And so even if you don't have all the things that someone else has, potentially what you do have makes you happy. I think that's really all that should matter. So think about it. The 1% exists for a reason. Doesn't make it good or bad, but race your own race. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next week.